What's up, boys? Today we're going to be checking out the Titan Quest II Early Access. So I know there's 4 different masteries currently in the game, so obviously we're going to be going for Storm and some Chain Lightning. Let's see, do we have any cool lightning looking dudes here? Not really. Can we, like, modify that anywhere? Doesn't look like it, unless maybe it's under Finalize. Normal, neophyte, or hardcore. Let's just do the standard here. And we shall be Chain Lightning Man.
Of mortals,
bound by fate's golden strands. Tell of their laughter, their struggles, their glory.
tell of warlike Sparta.
Fate destined them for godlike greatness. But the gods had other plans.
Their ambition angered the goddess.
And winged Retribution showed them no mercy. Staining their strands with darkness.
But don't cut it short.
Tell us the whole story. Tell us about hope.
So the story is something about Nemesis, the goddess of vengeance, is after us. Don't know the exact thing. And like I said, there's 4 masteries currently in the early access, I believe. Storm.
Sing muses of faith and the mortal, watched by the gods on Prote Island, where the story begins.
The cinematics and voice acting do seem pretty cool, so I think we will check those out on the first playthrough. There is WASD movement. You can freely change the control scheme. I'm going to try that out, see how it works. Ooh, a line and cap. Looks like that auto-equips. Little bit of strike and pierce armor. Pretty good dodge recovery rate, actually. So light armor is pretty good for mobility. Got a little dash on our space, it looks like. I believe there's some way to customize that or modify it later on. Though if we want to try out some range, sure, why not? Save some HP here.
Mortals' victories.
So there's 4 different masteries in the early access currently. Storm Magic, Earth Magic, Warfare, and Rogue. I'm assuming Rogue will have both dual dagger type stuff and bow type stuff.
Prepared him for the hunt.
And then I'm assuming Warfare will have some sort of whirlwind attack, and I'm assuming Storm will have a Chain Lightning attack, because it would just be silly not to have that stuff.
Aggressive. The Griffin grows more dangerous every day. Its mad cult of worshippers keeps growing. It's time we hunted it down. Are you ready? Good. But first, There's something I must show you. I'll explain on the way. The time has come for you to prove yourself. Today we hunt the griffin, but before that, remember the shrine at the end of the beach? Let's go.
And like in Titan Quest 1, I believe you'll be combining 2 different masteries, and I'm assuming they'll be adding a lot more throughout the early access process, because you basically choose like one class and then you only have 3 different combinations with it currently, which isn't that much. The first one initially had like 6 or 7 combinations and eventually went up to like 10 or 11 or something, which is a huge number of potential combinations you can do there. But we don't have that many yet. Uh-oh. Alright, so the game was crashing an absolutely insane amount, but I ran through a bit and deleted a bunch of the recordings there since you couldn't really see a whole lot. I've gotten my first mastery now, so we've got the very first Stormcaller thing, and I actually do like the skill system a lot. It seems pretty cool, lots of customization here. So we have Call Lightning, and then as you level it up, you gain a bunch of these little slots up here that you can freely customize it. You can undo those and add them in at any point. So right now I am massively increasing the energy cost, but it strikes extra times. And then we're going to try some added ailment chants. Most of the ailments do some damage over time sort of effect. And then shock also builds up like staggered or something. I think you can actually see it on the tutorial thing somewhere. Let's see, shock is lightning damage over time and chance of being disrupted when performing abilities. So it'll be like anti-caster, it sounds like. So that's pretty cool. And then in order to get Chain Lightning, we're going to have to go for Lightning Bolt. There's actually only like 3 or 4 lightning things in here. But it actually sounds like there may not be an option to go for Chain Lightning at all. This one, when it gains extra projectiles, they will split off on the first hit. So it sounds like you can go Forked Lightning with that. But I didn't see anything for Chain Lightning. You can gain 20% chance to gain Flow, which will buff some other abilities with certain effects. Trigger a Lightning Strike on hit, additional projectiles for more Forked Lightning stuff. First hit applies a debuff, which will deal damage when it expires. Convert it into a weapon damage attack, that's kind of interesting. You could do like a Lightning Archer or something. Gain Rage, extra projectiles and damage, huge energy cost. And then lots of extra projectiles and damage there, it looks like. So yeah, I'm not even sure if we can do Chain Lightning Man anymore. We might have to convert it into Forked Lightning Man. Oh yeah, one other kind of interesting thing is that you have the core tree as well, and you can actually put stuff onto your basic attack. It does cost 5 energy by default, and a lot of these will actually increase it. So, as far as I can tell, you don't really have a generator, but you can get like piercing on it, very high ailment chance, extra vitality damage, which is a fairly rare damage type and has built-in lifesteal, slow enemies, rage and attack speed, convert it to cold, convert it to lightning, gain flow for other abilities, gain armor, damage against channeling or incapacitated enemies, chance for extra projectiles. So that's actually kind of interesting, and I believe some of those upgrades in here are actually based on your class, like Cold Explosion, that's probably from the Stormcaller class we have here. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential, the skills are pretty interesting. I want to like the game, but the insane amount of crashes currently are probably not acceptable even for an early access game. But I'm going to keep trying and really give it a fair shot. There's a lot of little areas off to the side that have like chests and stuff, kind of cool if you like exploring stuff. But also the early game movement speed is fairly slow, and a lot of the time you just get like one junk white item, so I don't think it's objectively worth it. But if you like it, why not? We have a little barrier ability now, also. And I also grabbed a staff, which has sort of a basic cold attack that seems to have a little bit of splash damage directly on top of the enemy it hits. And then I think we're fairly close to the second mastery. it doesn't actually take that long to grab it. But also, I don't think I have enough points to really get a ton of use out of it. We might just grab a couple cheap passives or something to get the spellcasting going a bit more often.
The houses! There are people still trapped inside!
But yeah, unfortunately, we can only cast it like 3 times currently. It also has a bit of a debuff to your energy as you're casting it. It has the exhaust trait, which is minus 75% energy regen during that. So that seems kind of iffy. How much does that cost when we get it? 10 energy. Okay, so that's completely spammable, I think. So once we get enough divinity to raise that, that'll be cool. But we need to complete some more quests first for that. Alright, that actually doesn't block too many hits, even on the trash mobs here. Guess we can't really face tank them a whole lot. The potions do generate based on damage dealt, I think. So I actually can use those a little bit more. Oh, that's right, there's a mana potion as well. I need to be using that more, actually. So we can use 1 for the full blast, 15 out of 15 charges, it looks like. Oh, that gains 1 charge per 1 second. I wonder if you can get different modifiers on the potions. Charges by dealing damage.
This is the 3rd time in as many months. We have to put a stop to it. The Griffin's leading them. We have to...
Well, look who's grown a spine. Which one of you is responsible for this pathetic attempt at resistance? You like playing the hero, do you? Then fight me. My master will enjoy using your corpse as a plaything.
Not another attack? I'll protect the villagers. You take care of the cultists.
Oh yeah, and also when an enemy starts charging up a big attack, there will be that little like teal colored circle on top of them. So you can try to get ready for that with either your dash or your barrier ability whenever you see that.
That Griffin is a curse on us all. We can't keep fending off these attacks. Not me. I'm too old to go chasing down Griffins. But you... Which god gave you those gifts? The cultists blocked the path up the mountain, but there's another way, through the ruins. Take it, and teach those cultists a lesson while you're at it. Don't forget to destroy the Griffin's nest, too. We can't risk another Griffin moving in.
So 2 active and 2 passive points each level, it looks like. Actually, do I want to grab ice shards? That has a 10 energy cost. It gains overwhelm while you have an overwhelm skill equipped, but we don't have any of those yet, so that's not a big deal. What kind of modifiers could we put on that? Additional cold equal to reserved energy. That's kind of interesting. Homing sounds cool. Hitting a frozen target causes an explosion. That's pretty cool. Additional projectiles plus energy cost. Penetrate targets, but less damage for each. Projectiles are shot in random directions plus 4 projectiles. So it's 5 by default. If you max that out, I guess it would be 17. Kind of cool. I don't know if that would be great for single target, though. They orbit you? Wait, what if you go the Nova effect plus homing plus orbiting? I guess orbiting doubles the energy cost for the very first point. So that's very expensive. That sounds really cool, though. But I'm going to have to play with that later. I think we're just going to keep leveling that up for now. And then we can drop that and see what that gains for one more rank. The energy cost only goes up by 10, but an extra repeat, that's very good. Okay, not bad. And then we need more energy to sustain that, I think. 1 point for 6% and 4 is not bad. Yeah, let's do that. And then every certain number of levels, you gain a big upgrade feat for the passives as well. So right here, I'm just grabbing some energy regen, and then eventually we'll probably grab that for even more energy regen. But we just want the 1 point there for now. Oh yeah, we need the attribute points. Is there a way to have it, like, automatically compare stuff? I don't see anything for it yet. So it looks like no auto-compare. Huh. That's a strange one. I have to hold down Alt for every item, it looks like. That is some decent armor. So cunning is poison and light, or wait, agility is poison and lightning, and then strike and pierce. And then knowledge also gives fire and cold instead of strike and pierce. That sounds a bit more useful. We probably will have some cold. Probably just keep pumping that for now then. What is that thing on the minimap? Oh, a climbing point, I guess? I think this is
State your
Hmm.
the
wish.
second mastery.
You have already proved your worth.
See if we can group them up a bit for all of the lightning strikes.
You have been measured. And you have been found worthy. Come and receive your blessing.
So there actually is some interesting synergy with Warfare. And if you want to play a Whirlwind build, you can actually grab Sweeping Strike and then the Whirlwind conversion there for any melee players. But I think there's a rage casting thing in here, right here. Spell damage, attack damage, and then gives you spell rage. And then you can combine that with the rage casting there, I guess, and get the rage on hit over here. But I think there's more like useful passives in general for Earth here. We can get spell damage and energy, and then even more energy there. That'll help a lot with our huge energy costs. Not super useful. Ailment might not be bad. Generic spell damage there. Some good survivability there. Very good survivability there. Damage with overload. So some decent stuff there. And then there's like an aura over here that might have some useful stuff. We can get some decent armor over there. And then maybe some resistance over there. So I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think it's probably the easiest to just sort of slot in. What do we gain for 1.8% damage is not bad. Let's go ahead and grab that. Then we have one more active, which I think I'll just toss into the storm tree again. Then we can grab a 1-pointer. So you can gain up to 10 stacks. And we have that enabled from just one, right? Yeah, 1% spell damage and cast speed, so I think that's actually pretty good.
Rise, twice blessed of the gods.
You can freely respec your skills as well. It costs a bit of money, I think. Respec -1 would be 6 gold. So it looks like just 6 every time. That's not too bad. I lost my keybind by checking that for some reason. Okay. Kinda weird. It's also very hard to move if you're even remotely close to an enemy. A lot of collision on them, it seems like. Which is actually kind of annoying with the Whirlwind ability. Oh, there might actually be some sort of secret to open this, it looks like. There's definitely something over there, and I'm kind of curious. That's weird. I'm like standing on top of the plants there. The heck? Anything useful? A spiked club melee weapon? Not really. Magic staff. Oh, that's quite good. 8% cast and cooldown speed. 23% lightning, 10% area? That's really good, wow. Short bow and a shield. I think staves are two-handed. Well, you can see it right there. They're definitely two-handed, okay. So we can't use a shield with them. Then we're trying to go down here, it looks like. I can't move. Interesting.
No one's crazy enough. What?
I think my gear isn't completely filled out yet, so we do want to get even just some basic white pieces to get some extra survivability and all. So level 9 will get us one more, which we could do one more repetition. Yeah, I guess it's fine. So it's up to 130 energy, but that's still pretty efficient for just one level. And then passives, we can go up to 7 with some extra energy there. Bit more knowledge for global damage. How much is that doing actually? Offensive stats. Looks like we have about a 20% multiplier to natural and thermic stuff. And it looks like the unique damage types actually gain your highest multiplier. So that's kind of interesting. You have any sources of those? So any gear we can use here. Nice armor increase there. That is quite a bit of armor there. And then we don't really have the agi or might to equip any of the like martial based stuff.
Well, if it isn't the hero of Proti Village. Come to bask in my presence, have you? Be warned, my servants were weak.
What is
But
that
I
HP bar over
am
there?
as terrible as I am beautiful.
Oop, that was not ideal. Ow. Okay, so you need to wait a bit and then go right as he dashes on top of you, it looks like. That does a lot, even when you dash out of it, Jesus. Decent loot explosion on some bosses and chests, though. Might have to start filtering magic items soon. So compared to that, we gain extra weapon damage and attack speed. I think mine's actually better for the lightning AoE currently. I wonder if you can do a staff-based attack build. Can I see the other masteries still? I don't think so, but there's a ranged attack on Warfare that's basically Barrage from Path of Exile, and I wonder if you could use a staff with that. Storm Nimbus is an aura that's based on cold and lightning damage. We'll definitely want that at some point. Extra damage. Increase the lightning strike damage 2 seconds. Chance to hit a random enemy with a lightning strike. That sounds pretty cool. +2 lightning weapon damage. So I don't think our skills use weapon damage by default. But actually, the base damage on that is 23? So if we made that this thing, it would be 120% of our staff, which would actually be a decent damage increase. Although it might be fire damage, which would be kind of weird. So yeah, I'm not sure on that. Let's see, I guess we'll have to respec some points and play around with all of these. Enemy hits you, deals cold damage with ailment chance and chance of freeze. That's pretty cool for a melee, like, Spellblade build. Thunderstorm sounds fun. Ice Nova. 50 energy, 36, or rather 24 damage, I guess. So you can guaranteed freeze with it. That sounds pretty nice. Double cast. Adds a pretty hefty base cooldown. Channeling enemies and recover cooldown if they were hit. Frost explosion into a cone for any Cone of Cold enjoyers. Extra ailment chance, cooldown charges. So what type of stuff would we add to this? 1 additional projectiles. So they're 60% less damage when they fork after that. Base damage of 23. So electric burst would be helpful for single target damage, I guess. Probably want at least one on that. Lightning strike could be cool as well. There's some synergy with the passive over here, which also adds a passive chance for that, and then you gain ailment chance or damage on any lightning strike. 20% chance to gain flow. Doesn't gain overwhelm anymore. That would put it at 6 times the energy cost. That's kind of insane. Rage would be good for damage. I actually feel like the upgrades on this one aren't that interesting. Like, if we could improve the fork to lightning part so it didn't have such a huge damage penalty on it, maybe. So if we want to respec this, it'll be a lot of money. And then, I guess before we mess around with this stuff too much, I should see how it works mechanically, at least. We should grab an extra projectile and see what that looks like, also. So what would be good for that? That one's 1 energy cost, that's not too bad. That one is also 1 projectile with no energy cost. Oh, overload causes a bunch of damage to you though, so I don't think we could really sustain that yet. That one's the massive energy cost, so probably not. So we'll have to grab a bunch of that, it looks like, to really try out the chain, or forked lightning, I guess, here. And then we'll just see what that looks like for now. Wait, that's the wrong one. Oops.
At last. Do you know who I am? No, I didn't think so. You're oblivious to your fate. She did a good job hiding you from me. Aristono, my priestess. But she couldn't hide you forever. I am Retribution herself. And you were marked for punishment long ago.
Goddess! Stop! I beg you! There's no justice in this punishment.
Justice? Ha! We're all just flies in the spider web of the fates. Blame them, not me.
Reidan! Now! Go! Run! I'll distract her. Get to the caves!
Oh, there we go. I couldn't move up or down for a second there. That was kind of weird.
Run as far as you like. I will always pursue. The fates have cursed us both. I am showing you mercy.
Wait.
What will you do when she's no longer there to protect you?
She found you. When you used the mastery shrines, it must have alerted her to your presence. I bought her some time, but we need to move. Nemesis' servants will be close by.
Oh yeah, we should definitely have the aura as well. That doesn't reserve too much. Do we want to put any levels on that right away? Oh, that also gives you a global modifier to lightning strike damage. So we already have some synergy there. I would like to see it show like what you gain for the next level on the skill modifiers. Like, you can't see what you gain for rank 2 on that currently, which is kind of annoying. But we can get some pretty quick bonuses there. 2215. Looks like the percentage lightning strike and chance to hit were both doubled. So that's actually pretty solid. And then I guess with that, we'll definitely want some lightning strikes on that. 10% chance. Then we'll just toss that somewhere over where I'm not really going to be pressing it anyways. And it somehow unbound my lightning bolt again. Nice.
That was the goddess Nemesis. The truth is, she's wanted to destroy you since you were a baby. When she demanded I bring you to her for punishment.
Oh, I guess one thing, if we get the lightning strike chance to be pretty high between that and the passive, then the damage penalty won't actually be that bad if we have a lot of damage from those. How many more points do we have left? 1, so that doesn't really do anything yet. Do I want one of those at 1 point? We could get a guaranteed freeze. That might be kind of nice. I'm down to try that. Oh wait, I need 2 for that. Oops. Extra freeze duration. Plus 5%. I guess we would try that. I don't know if it's going to be super useful.
It's madness. I couldn't do it. What could an infant do to deserve eternal punishment? There, the boat. As long as you're on this island, Nemesis is a threat to everyone here. We need to leave. We need to sail for Pieros. There's an entrance near there to the realm of the Moirai, the goddesses of fate. Nemesis fears you because of a prophecy. I don't know what prophecy, but the Moirai will be able to tell us. Here, wear this. Cover your face. And take this charm, my horse charm. It belongs to an old friend. It will protect you. And remember, seek the Moirai temple. Go!
So brave Aristano perished. And the mortal fled. Storm-tossed, they sank beneath the waters, crying out for a protector. Tormented by Retribution, the mortal woke on a strange shore, alone.
Alright, looks like we definitely need some more agility than just for gear requirements.
I need to wait.
So it looks like it also marks enemy healers with that. Interesting. 3 beasts, a lion, dolphin, and an owl. Each beckoning you to join them. So I guess you get a certain type of item based on what you choose there, and we got a melee weapon. Although I can equip it. Doesn't really do anything for me. Weapon strike damage cooldown rates.
Hello?
Yeah, the Frost Nova doesn't seem that great with just the 1 point. Might actually try it with the extra one, though. Very long cooldown, guaranteed freeze, though. I guess we could try it. Wish I could see what it gains on the next level up, though. We don't gain anything from 1 point there, I think. Does the base damage change at all? 2677. It's like, no, so it's purely for unlocking upgrades. Then what do we have over here now? Decent lightning, cold damage, shock, and chill chance. That would be good to have at least 1 point. Projectile damage, homing, and range. That should work here now, right? Yeah, projectile. Barrier conversion, glancing projectile hit rates. How close are we to the second upgrade on that? 1 away, so... Well, we also don't need energy quite as much now with that only being 14. So we can really get some big damage here, I think. What kind of upgrades did these things get? Projectile, weapon damage, spell damage. Max shock chill. Oh yeah, they go to 10 stacks each, I think. So that's kind of 30% extra if you can get that high. 20% power. Speed and increased range. Increased homing, reduced speed. Projectile target penetration. That sounds like pierce chance, maybe? Movement, cooldown, barrier, or barrier decay. Ancient coin from a bygone era found on the beach where I washed ashore.
You're alive. Thank the gods. Remember the child, Kristen shaped like a horse. That's me. We must have separated in the wreck. Hurry, find me.
15% fire resistance. Is that the... So we need to find 2 more coins, I guess. Serpents and something else, since that was the bull one. Those have a lot of energy barrier, which I guess would be for that thing? 1 energy equals energy barrier. I guess that should help a bit. Need to clear out the inventory a bit though. Weapon vitality physical, that does nothing unless I convert it into the weapon damage thing.
Get your claws off me! Ah, there. Thank the gods. Not just any talking horse. The talking horse that saved your life. You're welcome. Aristino charged me with helping you reach the Moirai, and keeping you safe. A goddess is hunting you, and I have no idea how to reach the Moirai. At least Nemesis seems to think you're dead for now. That's some good news. Well, one step at a time. Let's find out where we are.
That was all the way over there, I think? What's the octopus doing? We need a lot of the other sets. So I guess we'll go double agility for now. And then we have a bit of divinity. I don't think that does anything on its own. I think it just unlocks new stuff. Ooh, movement speed. That's super nice. Okay.
Perhaps there's a village further up this road. What happened here?
How do we get roped into protecting this merchant again?
Drac Main.
Lousy road. Can't wait to leave this godforsaken coast behind me. You wouldn't happen to have a spare axle, would you? Funny. Well, if you want to buy something, let me know.
Thing couldn't hear ailments. Can't use most of that. That's okay. Probably save the gold for now in case I want to respec a bunch and try different stuff out.
They say only a god can open the temple of the Moirai. So first, we have to find the god, and then we have to find the Moirai temple. I wish Aristano were here.
It's
Your
kind of
mentor
weird
always had a plan.
how often you miss when you're directly targeting something with a single target attack sometimes. So we have one divinity. It looks like still quite a ways to go for the final tier there. Oh, I guess we should have a point in that actually. Although it doesn't gain any damage bonus, it just generates it, it looks like. And then we want a point in that. That would be for just that currently. I think I'd rather level one of these, to be honest. Cast speed, ailments, critical chance. 3% and 1% per level. That gains a lot of different stats, as well as 5% damage. That looks pretty good, I think. So we need to find a god somewhere in here. Or wait, it says go through the cave. Looks like there's something in here though. I guess we'll grab a little bit of might, make sure we always have the requirements, and then is there a quest log? I guess not. Alright, well that was almost everything. There's a little bit up there.
I need to wait.
Some of the interactables require you to click on them multiple times to actually do what they're supposed to. We explored everything in there, right? We went through there and over there. So we must be done with that place then. Doesn't seem like I can teleport from here.
Ichthians. They're far from the water, aren't they? That man looks like he could use our aid.
Now, who by the ghost of shipwrecked Odysseus are you? Where did you come from? On second thought, never mind. Grab that lever. We need to destroy this breach before more Ichthians arrive. Just try to cross now, scaly fur. What god did you piss off that you've washed ashore here of all places? Nemesis? I knew someone who was hunted by Nemesis once. Years ago. A woman. With an infant. Oh, but who would we be if we denied a weary traveler our hospitality? What you need? This sorry place. You're on the outskirts of Pieros village. Follow me. I'll show you the way.
Pieros village? Could it be? We didn't end up so far off course after all. The god Glaukos has a temple near here. He's an old friend of mine. He can help us reach the Moirai.
Great dam. Glaukos ordered the Cyclopes to build it for the people here, ages ago. The Ichthians broke through a few weeks ago. The floodwaters were merciless. The Ichthians, too. Not even the god could stop them. Pieros would have fallen, too, if it weren't on high ground.
No, the Glaukos I knew would never...
A word with you before you go. All right. I have to know. You come here fighting like Achilles and telling me the goddess of Retribution is out to get you. What do you want? Glaukos? Oh, forget about him. Everything he touches falls apart. You're better off without him. No.
Sometimes it like auto progresses the dialogue, and then sometimes it doesn't, so I like click on it as it's ending, and then it just like automatically goes through there, even though I want to hear it all.
After I became trapped in this charm, Glaukos was as true a friend as you could want. He gave me to Aristano because I asked him to. I needed to feel useful.
Hello? I need some help here. Oh, thank Glaukos you're not one of those monsters. They attacked and carried the other survivors off. My little sister, Tamandra. I don't think she'll do well as a prisoner. She doesn't understand how the world works. Thank you. You'd best hurry. Tamandra's going to get herself killed.
Did my lightning interrupt that?
Oh, thank my little sister, thank you. Good luck.
Weird.
I'll wait here to
Escape the cave. I guess we'll check over here just in case, since it's kind of close to him anyways. We have one divinity. And then with 1 point, guess more lightning strikes, so the AoE damage is pretty good. Then with 2 points over here, we'll go some more projectile stuff. Get a bit more knowledge.
Thank you. There are more prisoners deeper in the cave. They need help too.
men have had us penned in like sheep. Can you imagine? I have no idea what they thought to kidnap us for. I assume to ransom back as hostages. We are valued citizens of Pieros. I'd best find Itties. He'll be a mess without me.
It looks like some sort of secret if we light a bunch of stuff here, maybe? What is that? Dark rites they participate in. Freshly sharpened blades, unholy inscriptions don't bode well. It actually is pretty nice to have the guaranteed freeze for when multiples are doing the charge attack at the same time. A lone brazier, then 2, then 3. So we need to find where the 1 is then. And the 2 are on the other side where we initially saw that thing. Does this count as the 1? That one?
Not yet.
What are you doing?
Members of Knights.
You can't hide in here. This is my spot, okay? Safety? I am safe now that I've made it in here. Out there are Ichthians everywhere. I barely got away. I don't know who you are, but unless you're a god in disguise, I don't think you can defeat an entire army of monsters. Pieros will probably fall, and everyone will be captured.
Yeah, the lightning is interrupting that. That is pretty annoying.
Please get out of here and close the door on the way out.
Looks like that's everything in there. So I guess we head back out there now, unless there's something over there. I guess we should check that as well.
need to wait.
You made it out.
It's so good to taste fresh air again. I'm sure the dampness of that cave was giving me a nasty cough. Ugh, awful.
We all made it out without...
Thank you so much.
Killing me?
You've got to be
Well, the game is running smoothly ever since the huge crash issues early on. So, it seems to be fine for the most part, at least.
I need to wait. Not yet.
If you need goods stored or admittedly, it's a little hard to look. As soon as that's fixed...
So we've got the stash unlocked now. Hopefully we'll be able to share items between characters. Anything at the merchant over here. It's a pretty strong attacker weapon. Health regenerated per second, that's pretty nice. Would not mind grabbing that. Don't have anything else for that slot, right? That's a lot of fit? What the heck is fit? Oh, you can require minor attributes for the items as well as the primary ones, huh? 96 fitness. Heavy armor.
going hunting.
I think I'm fine with that. That's pretty good. That's a lot of armor. Yeah, I really wish you could compare them without, like, pressing multiple modifiers while you're, like, shopping. Holding down Alt to compare them and then Shift to sell them is pretty annoying. Might keep that just in case. I don't think we need that. Knowledge. Yeah, I think that's decent. And then keep that for weapons as well.
Need something stored?
Then we can just toss some maybe useless stuff into the stash. But we're at the town now, so I think that's a good place to stop. Skill system is pretty cool. We're getting close to tier 3. And I think Cyclone does have some cool stuff. We can create that, or convert that into like a persistent blizzard, which sounds pretty cool. Chance to constantly freeze and chill would be pretty good. Additional smaller cyclones persist around you. That sounds cool. Ooh, lightning strike. Yeah, that would be cool as well. 3 smaller storms and a 3.5 meter radius. Might work. 10 cold damage inside its radius. Definitely want to try like Thunderstorm plus some of those out and see what happens. And then we can get a new dash ability as well. Ooh, lightning strikes over there. And then once we get the synergy on that, that'll definitely be pretty cool with the aura stuff and what we have over there. Probably that one, if we can get more rage generation just to get more lightning strikes out, and then probably the big damage there, I guess. Damage with overload abilities. Rage effects. And then barrier stuff. But yeah, not too bad. Does have some performance issues, but we have been fine for quite a while, so might have just been a one-off thing. It did take me like 5+ tries to get through the early game and all the crashes there. So some people might not even be able to get through that area. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.